Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're diving back into my Saab 93 convertible restoration journey. If you've been following along, last time we upgraded the wheels and tackled a few loose ends. This episode is all about keeping that momentum going, addressing some lingering issues, and fingers crossed, wrapping up the interior once and for all. Let's start with the hub-centric rings. Since I put the new wheels on, I've been hearing this annoying squeaking noise. It's like a haunted squeaky door every time I drive. Not fun. After some investigation, I realized the hub-centric rings weren't fitting snugly on the wheel. I measured the wheel center bore at 71.5mm and that's what I ordered, but it turns out the correct size is actually 72mm according to TSW. No wonder the rings were loose. So I got the right ones this time, and you could tell they were correct because I had to hammer them into place this time. Once installed, I took it for a spin, hoping that would solve the issue, but the squeak was still there. So I did some digging and learned that bigger wheels can amplify existing brake issues because of the extra weight and stress they put on the system. Looks like it's time for me to get new brakes. And here they are, fresh off the UPS truck. These are the geocarbon coated disc brake rotors and ceramic European series brake pads from R1 Concepts, who is the sponsor of today's video. Now let's rewind a bit. Way back when I was getting into cars, R1 Concepts was this up-and-coming budget-friendly company who were making some budget brakes, and to be honest, their reputation wasn't the greatest, but that was 20 years ago. Fast forward to today and they've completely leveled up. They're now known for top-tier brake pads and rotors that meet or exceed OEM quality. Plus, they even make big brake kits for just about any car. I actually ran R1 Concept rotors and pads on my old Hyundai Veloster Turbo years ago, and I remember them being way better than OEM. So when I started this Saab build, I figured why not reach out? And R1 Concepts hit me with the classic "say no more," and they sent over the full set. So huge shout out to R1 Concepts. If you're interested in upgrading your brakes, check out the link in the description. You can also grab them on Rock Auto and Amazon. So this kit comes with 4 rotors, 2 in the front, 2 in the back, all the brake pads, and then the hardware, including like the boots and even this wire portion here, which is pretty cool. And look, they even sent me this keychain, and this thing spins. How cool is that? So everything you need for a quick and easy brake job is right here. And they're also made right here in California, so that's always a good thing. Oh wow, these aren't screwed in very tight. I guess it doesn't need to. Oh wow, that came off very easily.
Remember when we were playing the Minecraft Lego?
Yeah?
I did one of the minifigures Cypher and you chose Diaper.
Hilarious. So funny. Yesterday when I was doing this job last night, it took me like 2 hours altogether because of various things. I was just learning how to do like a 2-piece rotor, so I've never done one before, and then at least to me it wasn't straightforward, but today I knocked it out in like 20 minutes. So you know, you can't be good at everything the first time. A very short note about the European series brake pads. If you've ever switched from a non-European car to a European one, you may have noticed how grabby the brakes can be. Sometimes it feels like you might go flying through the windshield. To balance that aggressive bite, R1 Concepts designed these softer European series brake pads, delivering a smooth braking experience without sacrificing stopping power. So if you notice your brakes are too aggressive, you might want to try these. So the rear caliper is only held on by, well, once you remove the 2 bolts, it's only held on by that steel brake line. So make sure you use the zip tie method to make sure you don't put too much stress on the brake line. Please do not strip. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Wait a minute. We got 2 pistons in the back. That's freaking cool. So according to the Whiz manual, you can push back the pistons with some of these vice grips. Are these called vice grips? Well, it's labeled that, but you know what I mean. Next up, the cabin filter. I've already done a full video on replacing the cabin filter on the OG 9.3s, so I won't go into all the nitty-gritty details, but let me just say it's a massive pain in the butt on these cars. You have to remove the wiper arms and the windshield cowl. Yep, you heard that right. Not that bad, par for the course, I guess. And my elephant trunk down there, not too bad either. It's pretty impressive how this brand, TYC, has pictures of the 9.3 like that. They put the effort to put that in there, so that's pretty awesome. Before I take off the old filter, I got one of these handheld blower things from Amazon, and it's actually very powerful, so I'm gonna see if I can spray all that. So the old one and the new one, gotta make sure this little thing is in the same spot. And while everything was out, I took the time to clean and spray down some black trim paint on the windshield cowl and my wiper arms. The results were, well, they could have been better. I've used this product before, but this time it came out a bit glossy and spotty in some areas, so maybe it was user error. Anyways, it's much better than before, so I'm not complaining. And another annoyance was my driver's side seat recline. After a certain point, it would grind and stop reclining. Unfortunately, the most reclined position was too upright for my comfort, so I decided to take it apart and see what the problem is. Alright, so because I don't know how this works, I'm just gonna try it. So I'm gonna move this top like up and down, and that motor is this one. You can see right there, it's moving back and forth. Right there. Okay, and then this one right here, that one is down there towards the back. You can see it kind of moving right there. And then this backwards and forward, that is that motor right there. My problem is this one right here, and unfortunately I think I'll have to undo this panel here, or maybe the other side, and see the motor working, or maybe I can find the gear that's grinding. Okay, so I took the side panel cover off, and then I found this thing right here, and I noticed that when I move the seat back and forth, that little gear, that's the one, but after a certain point it gets caught. So I looked in here. Alright, so you're looking at the back of the seat now, and I took off this little cover and you can see the motor. Interesting thing I found is this paper was nudged inside, and I feel like this was like a fix, like a temporary fix by some previous owner. I don't know why this would make a difference yet. I don't understand why, but now that I removed this, let's see if it works or doesn't work. Okay. Alright, so I'm gonna have to do some digging, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I discovered something. When I move the seat, the motor is like moving. Pretty sure it's not supposed to do that. So now I kind of understand why this was there, so it keeps the motor from moving. This is starting to become quite the journey. All the while, I'm like really scared that the airbag will blow on me, because I still do have the power on. So don't try this at home. I think I've come to some kind of enlightenment here. Obviously that motor, the teeth in it is stripped. So I showed you guys that when I move the seat back and forth, that little gear moves back and forth as well. And I took a plier like this and basically tried to like move it manually backwards, and it kind of got past a certain point, and now it's reclining back further than before. So and then after a certain point it gets stuck again, and then when I advance it more with this manually, it'll go further back and get stuck after a certain point. So there's definitely like one place in the gear, I guess, where it gets stuck, and then after that it's fine until, you know, the next revolution. So right now I got the seat positioned pretty comfortably for me, so I'm just gonna call it a fix for right now, because to replace that motor, I think on eShop parts, if it's even available, it's like a ridiculous amount of money. And I mean, I don't know how I would replace that even if I got a good one. So for now, I'm just gonna call this good. I'm gonna put it all back together and be happy. Alright, so we made some pretty good progress on this episode. I still have a few more things to wrap up on the inside, but next video it's going to be the PowerFlex bushings on the sway bar and the sway bar end links. And maybe some of you guys noticed during the B-roll footage, but R1 Concepts accidentally sent me 2 sets of the front brake pads instead of 1 front and 1 rears. They did make it right, they sent me the right ones, but now I have an extra set of front brake pads. These are the OEP series, which is more of an OEM equivalent. I don't need these, so if you guys are local to somewhat in the Southern California area, I'm more than happy to just give these to you for free. The reason I'm doing this is because I've received so many free things from other Saab community members, and I just want to pay it forward. So yeah, just reach out to me on Instagram if you are interested in getting this set. But anyways, that's it for this video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.